Marvel Rivals is slowly dying, and it's all your fault, honestly. YouTube, what's going on, man? It's Father Dark, and today we're gonna have a little bit of a crash out video. I know a lot of you enjoy these, but for me, it's just normally something that's a little bit more therapeutic that I have to get off my chest. But let's go ahead and talk about it. So before we get into the video, I just have to say thanks to our sponsor, U4GM, and their sponsorship. They're a pro web provide Marvel Rivals bundles with cheap prices and fast delivery. They have more than 11K good comments. This website is really worth a try. Make sure to use my discount code DARK for an extra 6% off. All right, so now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about it. So Marvel Rivals is dying, and before I even start the video or start talking about anything, I already know what like 90% of you are going to say. The game is dying because of EOMM. Do not worry. What you're looking at right now is gameplay from my alt account. I'm leveling it up right now. We're about to do a run through of ranked on an alt account. I finally broke down and made one, simply because everybody just keeps talking about EOMM, and I did not feel like it was fair to keep talking about it and making videos about it without making an alt account to kind of compare stats and stuff like that, the same way that I did with the console account. And for those of you who are new to the channel and haven't seen it, I played on console, was able to surpass my rank within like 3 days of only playing for a couple of hours per day with like a 90% win rate. So we're going to see what the case is with the alt account. We're going to compare some stats, and that will probably be my next video if I can get the account leveled up and able to do a rank run through. We're going to see if it's the same, in between, or different. Okay, so now that we've talked about EOMM, everybody got that out of their system. Yes, that is part of the reason why a lot of people are leaving the game. But there's another issue that a lot of you aren't taking into account here: the community. Now, the thing is, what I'm talking about, when I say that it's a you issue, or if I refer to anybody specifically, or not, just meaning if you take it as if I'm talking to you specifically, it's kind of a if the shoe fits kind of thing. If I was to listen to a video like this and someone was saying that the community is toxic, I don't deal with people in this community in regards to, I actually deal with a lot of people. I have a server. It's coming up on 1,000 people. We have, plenty of people in there that are not toxic. There's lots of people in this community that are not toxic at all. There's lots of people that are not irritating. There are not a lot of the things I'm going to talk about. But there's unfortunately probably more people that are than aren't. And if you're looking to get away from a lot of those people and be around like-minded gamers that aren't toxic, that are super positive, fun to be around, funny, all that kind of stuff, I recommend you joining the Discord. You can find the link to it in my bio. We have an LFG in there. You can find people to play ranked with. We do custom matches all the time. Sometimes we have tournaments, all types of stuff. Pretty much anything you're looking for, you can find it in the Discord server. I'm in there every day, so you have the ability to talk to me as well. Now, the other day, one of the people from my server, who's also on my YouTube mods and a friend, actually has sent me a link where a lot of people were going back and forth talking about Johnny Storm and the Future Foundation skin that's coming out for him, right? Now, one of the issues that I have with this is someone who actually grew up reading comic books, and in a time where this was before the MCU and all of this stuff. When I was growing up, reading comic books was not a cool thing. A lot of people kind of like let it pass simply because I did, play some sports and stuff like that. I was into, music, playing guitar, skateboarding, all types of stuff that usually isn't socially frowned upon. So whenever I would say like, hey, I'm into this comic book or whatever the case is, or I really like this movie or whatever, a lot of people let it slide. But at the same time, I kind of knew when and how to bring that stuff up. And I knew that people would kind of clown me for it a lot of times. So, even if it was just jokingly or whatever, and then we were back to whatever we were doing. But the point that I'm making is that there was a period of time where this was not cool. Nowadays, people love to act like they've been into this stuff for the longest time. And personally, I know that's a load of BS. Now, do I sit here and call people out for it? Do I act like it's that big of a deal? No, I'm glad that the things that I grew up being into, people look at and they think are cool now. But it's kind of like stuff like Star Wars and a lot of these other things. When I was growing up, people did not think that stuff was cool. People did not think being into superheroes and stuff was cool. There was names for people like that, right? I'm not going to repeat any of them to get my channel demonetized. But at the same time, though, everybody thinks they're like some comic book aficionado now. Everybody feels like they're this know-it-all because Google exists and they can just sit back and use it. Now, also being honest too, because I'm not going to lie to you guys, do I know everything about every single comic book character ever? No. Anybody that tells you that is a liar. There's just way too many comics out there. There's way too many heroes, way too many alternate universes, and just so much stuff that's happened over time. Most comic book fans usually have like a specific They have characters that they usually tend to follow in storylines, and every now and again, like maybe new comics come out and they'll get into them. But there's stuff all the time that I learn about that's coming out every day that I don't know about, and I have to go out and start buying issues and volumes and stuff to be able to read up on them and learn about them. And there's also little things that happen in between little periods where maybe I didn't catch this issue or a group of these or whatever, and stuff happened. The thing is, though, is that the problem is like you have these people that play this game and they feel like, oh, well, if you don't know everything about the comics, then I'm going to sit here and clown you. If you mispronounce a name to something, I'm going to sit here and try to clown you and you know, pick on you and seem like, oh, I'm up on my high horse because I know about this or I know about that. When in actuality, you're probably sitting there Googling stuff, and a lot of stuff is just misinformation. So the thing is like with the Human Torch thing, him getting a skin for the Future Foundation. For a lot of people that don't know, the Future Foundation was created after Johnny Storm was presumed to be dead. And a lot of people, they're sitting back there saying, well, how is he getting a skin if for a Future Foundation if he was presumed dead? First thing I want to say is that Marvel Rivals does not, the beauty of Marvel Rivals is that it takes place in its own world, its own universe. So technically they have the ability to be able to do whatever it is that they see fit when it comes to a lot of stuff. This is how we got like a lot of the Peach Momoko skins. And while a lot of times there's like variations to skins and stuff like that, whether it's licensing reasons or whatever the case is, or maybe they just wanted to have their own universe in to be able to build off of, whatever the case is, that is a situation, right? The other part that I want to add to that is that Human Torch actually did get a Future Foundation skin at some point. See, what a lot of people don't seem to understand is that unlike the Marvel universe, or I'm sorry, the MCU, where there are actual characters that are playing these roles and they have contracts and sometimes they have other obligations, or maybe they just wake up one morning and decide they don't feel like being in the movies anymore, whatever, they have to eventually kill these characters off. And kind of like if you think about like Iron Man, right? Robert Downey Jr. is about to be a senior citizen. There's no disrespect to Robert Downey Jr. Man's an excellent actor. He's carried MCU on his back for a while now, right? But at the same time, he's a real person. So eventually he will become too old to be Iron Man. And they're going to have to, you know, do a Secret Wars type of deal and reboot the Marvel Universe. And eventually these characters can come back, but they can come back with different actors and stuff like that are younger and can carry on, you know, pass the mantle to them and carry these roles on for a long period of time. But in the comic books, you don't have that issue. The only person in the comics who's actually ever really just stayed dead was Uncle Ben. Pretty much everyone else has died like 5 or 6 times and comes back. The X-Men literally have a way to just like clone each other's brains and stuff, or however it is exactly they do it. But once people die, as far as X-Men, they can literally just come back. Like they know this. It's not a secret. And even without that, there's like a million ways that people end up coming back from the dead. And it's just what happens. They do that all the time in comic books. And then eventually, even still, once the comics have gone on for so long, they pretty much do like a soft reboot to them and start over again from scratch. You don't really have that ability to do that with like movies and stuff, except for like what I was talking about, is if like what we're kind of heading toward now is when you do like the Secret Wars type of deal where all the multiverses kind of like collide into each other. They'll get to choose who they want to keep. But for the most part, most of the people will probably die, and we're going to end up getting a rebooted Marvel Universe down the road. It's just that's what's going to have to happen after you've had like 2 decades of the same Marvel actors playing these characters. Eventually these people just get tired and they want to move on to different roles and stuff like that. But that's just something that I wanted to add in because it was kind of really irritating me how there's all these people that are like, but he was dead. How does he get a Future Foundation skin? Brother, he can literally, they can do whatever they want to. If they just want to make up stuff and give people whatever, they can do that. That's okay. Now, granted, are there some things that are just kind of like sacred that they shouldn't change? Yes. Like Spider-Man getting his all black suit. It should just look the way it looks in the comic books. Can they make like some slight little variation and microscopic tweaks, like make the eyes a bit smaller or slightly bigger that's not even noticeable or something like that? You take like Iron Man, for example. The way he looks in the game is pretty much how he looks in the comics. Did they make like the thing on his chest like a I don't know, like a triangle shape or something, or whatever shape it's in, instead of a circle? Yes, little tiny changes like that, whatever. But for the most part, it kind of has to look overall the way that it's supposed to look. So there's that, right? And I'm going to move on from that. The other thing I want to talk about is just, once again, I did a whole video on like the toxicity and stuff in the community, but there's something else that I kind of want to add to that and talk about. One, what is the end goal with like the toxicity and stuff? And it's like every week there's like some new beef that people are trying to like start with each other. People are constantly looking for something to beef with each other about. And I don't understand that. Like, how miserable is your life that you just want to sit back and argue with people all day long online, that you want to load into a game that you're supposed to be playing for fun? Now, granted, if you're playing ranked, that's not really for fun. It's supposed to be competitive. But at the same time, though, the fact that you want to sit here and create like a class system in a game of like, oh, well, we're better than the healers, or DPS are trash, or tanks ain't doing enough, or whatever the case is, and constantly go back and forth with each other, I don't understand. Getting upset with content creators. I did a video not too long ago about Ninja and him saying that there was too much toxicity in the community and he was just getting irritated with it and he was going to leave. And it's like the point of that video completely went over people's heads. The only thing they could focus on was, well, Ninja is toxic too. You guys are missing the greater picture here, okay? You're starting to lose the content creators that you had vouching for the game and playing it and keeping people interested. Steam charts don't really lie. Of course, they're only one metric that we have, because at the end of the day, console players, of course, if you actually look at the stats, there's more PC players overall, but the console players tend to be like the bigger numbers on stuff, because a lot of PC players tend to play games a lot of times, like the larger number of them tend to play games that are only on PC. When it comes to games that are like multi-platform, I would wager that more times than not, there's more people playing on console than there are PC. So the numbers, when you're seeing those numbers on Steam charts, it's kind of indicative of how the whole entire community is probably looking. So let's say we had 400,000 people on Rivals on PC. Then let's say you had 600,000 people playing on each console or platform. If you see that you've lost 3/4 of your player base on Steam, you're probably somewhere really close to that on console as well. Okay, 3/4 of your player base. That's a lot. And at no point is it being gained back. Now, do I feel like they could do certain things to kind of gain those numbers back a little bit? I'm not saying it has to be all of them, but at least a big portion of it. Yes, but some of the onus is on the community. That's what a lot of you like to say. A lot of you like to sit here and you like to say, oh, well, EOMM isn't the problem. It's all you. It's all your fault. Worry about what you can control. If you can't control NetEase and what decisions NetEase makes, why wouldn't you have that same mindset when it comes to things like why the game is dying and maybe what your part in it is? Now, back to the point that I was originally making. Content creators have a large impact on a game and if people want to play it or not. What a lot of people don't like to admit is that a lot of these individuals are followers. That's what they are. I'm not saying that's how a lot of or all people are. I don't encourage the people that listen to me to follow everything that I say. It would be nice when I tell you to do something positive, you do it. But at the same time, you should be your own person, your own man or woman, have your own thoughts and opinions about things. I encourage that here. But unfortunately, the masses, they wake up in the morning and they don't even know how to tie their shoes or if they should tie them unless somebody tells them to. Okay. So once you start pushing away content creators and saying, oh, good for them, go play Fortnite or go play this other thing. You want to know why those games have bigger numbers? Because more people are playing them. The more that content creators push out, whether it's a narrative or they're just genuinely enjoying a game, whatever, people are going to see that and people are going to want to play it. Now, I'm not saying that works for everybody. There are people out here right now that are playing some game that a lot of people would argue that is dead. I feel like Battlefield, the latest one, is dead. It's a dead game. It's been dead pretty much since Arrival. But are there technically a handful of people that are out there playing it? Yeah. X-Defiant was supposed to kill Call of Duty. It was supposed to do all the things that Call of Duty wasn't doing. And they ended up having to shut it down because nobody was playing it. But I'm sure if the servers were still open, there would be 10 or 15 people that would be playing it, and they wouldn't care if anybody else was playing. Lots of people are doing that. So there's somebody out there right now, maybe somebody listening to this video, who's playing a game that's like 10, 15 years old, that's just a single player game because they like it. But the masses are what keeps a game alive. Just like X-Defiant, they don't care if there's 1,000 people that still really love and enjoy the game. If it's not popular enough and not making enough money, eventually it gets shut down. All of these things that people want for this game, you know what motivates people who make the game to do those things? If people are actually playing the game. Now, you all know what exponential growth is, right? Growth over time. You think like gas or a movie ticket. When I was a kid, a movie ticket cost like $1 and some change. Nowadays, a matinee costs like 11, 12 bucks. If it's not a matinee, you're probably spending 16, 17 bucks. God forbid you want IMAX or 3D or something like that. Right? The same way that exponential growth exists, you have exponential decline. Okay? So over time, if we keep losing the same amount of numbers that we're losing, even if it gets cut in half every single time, eventually there will be no one playing this game anymore. And then what are you all going to do? What are you going to play Overwatch? You're going to play Overwatch? Seriously? You know why you're not playing Overwatch? Because you don't like Overwatch. It's just that simple. And this whole like, oh, well, we got to sit here and pick on the people that are coming into the game that don't know about, the lore and know everything about all the comics and the characters and stuff like that. Talk to them about it. Teach them. That's what I do. I make shorts all the time where that's all I do. It's just talk about characters and where their skins came from and explaining it to people. There's always somebody in the comic section. Well, actually, by the way, that reminds me. Did you guys see where we're getting the actually emote for Venom with the glasses and the finger up and everything? That's pretty funny, right? Perfect for this game, right? So, yeah, man, this community. And there's another thing I want to talk about too. Like the deal with a lot of you all with women. And why when a woman comes into a match, all of a sudden you guys just turn into like, oh, a woman, that's why we're losing. Don't you have to make me a sandwich or something? Get back in the kitchen. Brother, what is wrong with you? Because I guarantee you the same guys that are sitting back saying stuff like that to women are the same ones crying in these red pill channels where they're sitting back going, oh, it's so hard to find a woman. Women don't like me. I just, no matter what I do, brother, you're woman repellent. Just stop. You should be happy that women want to play a game. And then the second that they do play the game and they turn their mic on, you have nothing but toxicity for them. And once again, this is a if the shoe fits kind of thing. Is every guy like that? No. But at the same time, though, there is a very weird culture in this game and a bunch of other ones where it's like, let's just sit here and like make fun of women and stuff like that. And I don't understand why. Like, doesn't that go against your literal like survival like mechanism in your brain to want to have a woman and reproduce with one and start a family one day? It's very like fatherless behavior, you know, like what are you doing, man? And it's not to say that people aren't just toxic in general. People don't just sit here and constantly try to spend all day flaming their teammates and stuff. And, then a lot of people, they always sit back and they say, oh, well, the mute button exists. Or that's why I turn off chat and text chat and all this other stuff. Brother, you are playing a team-based game. Do you realize how goofy that sounds? To be trying to play a team-based. There is no solo mode in this. I mean, yeah, you got Doom or whatever, but who really wants to play that other than to like grind out Lord icons on certain characters and stuff? Majority of people are playing the actual game, which is a team-based game. And it's just like I can tell most of you have never ran a business. You don't have any intentions upon running a business. If you even work at all, you sit back on the internet that you more than likely do not pay for in your mother's house. And you get online and you just, all you do is exist to troll the people that exist to even make your game playable. You enjoy the game, you want to play the game, but it's like you're doing everything in like self-destruction mode to stop it from even existing to begin with. To turn it into another Overwatch that nobody wants to care about, nobody wants to play. To where the servers get shut down. Like a lot of these games that come out and they're really popular at first, and then people just move back on to something else. You look at some of the most prominent creators that you all had, some of the biggest names that you all had, like a Ninja, Tim the Tap Man. They have these massive audiences. And you know what those people are doing now? I can't tell you what Ninja's doing, but I'd be willing to bet anything if I look on his profile, he's probably playing Fortnite again. A game with millions upon millions of players that doesn't have to worry about any of these issues. What's Tim the Tap Man doing? This man went back to Call of Duty. Now, the thing is that this used to be a Call of Duty channel. I stopped playing Call of Duty because I did not like the fact that there was 1,000,001 hackers. And the game just, they weren't doing anything about it. Are there hackers in all games? Yeah. But they're very, very minuscule compared to the overall amount of hackers that are in Call of Duty. Now, Call of Duty might got better with it. But the thing is like kind of like, just like in real life, past relationships, all types of stuff. When I move on for something, I'm just done with it. I don't come back to it. I don't care about it. I don't text it. I don't call it. I don't go to other videos and leave comments all day saying, it's a dead game, bro. Why are you still playing it? I don't care. Once I move on, I move on. The only time COD gets brought up is when I have to use it as a reference when I'm talking about like skill-based matchmaking or something else. That's just to have something to compare it to. But in regards to me genuinely caring what's going on in the game or like I said, going to other videos about it or Twitter posts or whatever and leaving comments saying like, why are you guys still enjoying this game? Why are you still having fun? Why are you still doing this? I haven't played Fortnite in like 3-4 years. Can't tell you what's going on in it. Don't care. It could have 90 million people playing it and wouldn't faze me at all because I just don't care. I don't play it. But the point I'm making is that if I get to a point with this game where I'm done, I'm just going to move on. It's just that simple. This channel will become about something else. Let's say they drop GTA 6 early or something, and that's just an example. Don't come to me. Oh, no, they never said that. Brother, you're the person I'm talking about in this video. You're annoying, okay? Stop it. Listen. I said, if for some strange reason it was to get dropped early, this might just become a GTA channel. Well, that's all we do is just play GTA. Let's say some other random game drops that I really enjoy. Might just play that. That's how simple it is for me to just move on. And if I'm capable of doing that, it means other content creators are capable of doing that. Eventually, you are capable of ruining a game, making it just to the point to where people don't want to play. And you know why I know that? Because I run a whole entire Discord server that has nothing but people in it that either played Marvel Rivals or currently play Marvel Rivals. And the reason why I added that part in first, played, past tense, is because a lot of them, you might even see some in the comments for this video, who are saying, I used to play this game, but I don't play it anymore. They just watch the content because they like to hear me crash out or just kind of stay informed on what's going on. Maybe they just enjoy the creator. No differently than how you have people like Tim the Tap Man and Ninja, where maybe they don't play that particular game anymore, but for some reason they still follow that person. They just really enjoy them. There are some creators who like, that's all they do. You take like a, I don't know, Dr. Disrespect or something, where he's just a variety streamer. Every day he plays literally 3 or 4 different games. That's his whole shtick is like, oh, I'm gonna get a win in these 3 or 4 different games. So it's not like anyone is like dependent on any particular game. Games come and go. I've seen so many in the 3 decades that I've been gaming. They come and they go. But some can go a lot faster than others if you guys don't pull your heads out of your asses. It's just that simple, right? Okay, so good talk, but I'm going to wrap it up here. I need to get back to leveling up this account so I can make this alt account because I know what you all really want is that EOMM talk. Y'all love that EOMM talk. Y'all love to sit here and blame everything on EOMM. And I'm not saying that EOMM is not a thing. It is definitely a thing. I just feel like I need a little bit more proof. I've done plenty of rants about it and crash outs and all that kind of stuff, but I need like actual proof for a lot of you where I can put the numbers beside each other and go, look, you know, like the SpongeBob meme, like, is this enough for you right here? You see this? What about this? What about that? Right? So that's what I'm working on right now. So that should be the next video. There could be an exception. I might have to do one more in between, just depending upon how long it takes me to level it up. For some reason, I don't know why, but like one who is a friend of mine in a Discord mod, she is able to level up her account of like ASAP. I asked her what she was doing. She was saying she was playing with like the AI versus bots on easy mode, and I've been doing the same exact thing, but I just feel like my progression is nowhere near as fast as hers usually is. If you all know something that I could be doing, if there's some secret like XP tokens that I'm missing or something in this game or whatever the case it is, whatever the fastest way to level up an alt account, because I cannot stand that like period of time where I'm just leveling up the account and I literally cannot play ranked. That is irritating. That was like probably one of the biggest things that irritated me with doing the console, rank grind, was having to take that time to just level up the account. Like that took literally longer than it took me to reach diamond on the account in ranked. Not even exaggerating. So if you all have any tips, tricks on that or whatever, please put that in the comments. And I do appreciate you all for listening. But like I said, I'm going to wrap this up. We're coming up on the 30-minute mark. I've crashed out enough for today. That was my little rant about the community and the nonsense that goes along with it. But like I said, this next video is going to be about EOMM. So do not worry. Everybody keep your draws on. You know what I'm saying? It's coming. Yeah, no pun intended. So I appreciate it. Like I said, I appreciate you all for listening. If you got any thoughts or opinions, obviously drop them in the comment section. I try to reply to everybody. But, you know, the goofies that come in there and they want to sit there and go, oh, I'm going to try to argue with this guy today. Brother, I'm not arguing. I'm a grown man. I have a whole entire life. I'm not arguing with you. Yeah, goofy. I just get you up out of here. You can talk into the void and argue in darkness by yourself. I could not care less. It's not possible. But the people who do have common sense and can actually articulate themselves, like the adults and grown men and women that I know that you are, I got all the time in the world for you. But I do appreciate it. This is Father Dark. I'm out. I'll catch you all in the next one.